One of the most common struggles I have seen with newer players in MLB The Show 21 is the struggles with Showdown. The Showdown isn't the easiest mode. Sometimes people struggle, they have a difficult time beating the bosses, things like that. And I've been asked a few times, how do I complete the Team Affinity programs without doing Showdown? At first I was thinking, am I really going to suggest them some way to do this? It's going to take a longer time, be a little bit more difficult to do just because Showdown really is the end-all fast way to get through your Team Affinities quick. But after I looked at the program and took a look at all the ways you can get points, I realized, you know what? Maybe I can show them an easy way to get this done without doing Showdowns. Let's get into it. YouTube, what is going on? I appreciate you all watching. In case you are brand new and don't know me, my name is Scann. We're doing all MLB The Show gameplay tips, no money spent tips, things like that on the channel. So in case you are brand new, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Check out the rest of the videos we have on here and see if I have anything out there to help you. And also, I do stream on Twitch, so if you have any particular questions, if you want to watch me play the game myself and kind of, watch me go at the grind myself, make sure you check out the Twitch down below. We're streaming every day in the early afternoon, late morning, so come hang out with us, join us in the party. Let's get right into the content, shall we? So this video has two parts. The first part, I explain all the avenues you have to get points in the Showdown in case you're confused and how to get points, and kind of give you a little bit of background for this little method. And then the second part, I just go straight into the nitty gritty, give you a method of what to do, show you how to get this Team Affinity done without doing your Showdowns. So if you want to just go straight to the method, if you know how the Team Affinity program works, go to this timestamp right here. I have it all set up in the chapters down below too, so you can just go right to that and just go straight to the method. But if you are confused on Team Affinity, how the program works, how to get points in there, make sure you watch the first part as well. All right, so now we have our Team Affinity program. I'm going to our program, our Team Affinity. Let's go choose the NL East here because I have no progress. I'm going to quickly, before we go into this little method, describe all the ways you can get points. Obviously, Showdown is the most efficient way of getting points and exchanging those vouchers. But obviously, not everyone is good at Showdown. That is fine. Luckily, with Team Affinity, they give us plenty of different options of things to do to help us go through these programs without completing only Showdown. So let's go through all the ways you can get points first. First, you have your missions. These are missions that you get with the players in the program. All of these players are players you earn through completing the Team Affinity. So if you earn a player in a pack, you keep them on the squad and you could tally up a mission to get some extra points with them. Also, you have missions to tally innings with the players. These are repeatable, so you could do these over and over and over again. So if you play online and use a team with only players in this division, you could get a bunch of innings tallied here. And same with the offline stuff. It takes more innings for it to count as points, but you get more points. Now we have our moments. Obviously, our moments, just like any moments in the game, they're an offline recreation of some real life event. They're usually short and quick, and also usually pretty simple. And if you look at most of the moments here, they're relatively short. Get a couple hits in the game, an extra base hit. Moments are not too bad. Also, you have some longer ones. You get strikeouts, again, not too bad either. They're very small points for each. You get 10 total points for doing all of these, but they're definitely worth doing for easy points in your Team Affinity. Then we have our Affinity Conquest. So there are 3 different Team Affinity conquests. You have your East, Central, and West. If you complete all the goals in the map, then you'll end up getting 15 points for 2 divisions. So for our East, if you complete the East map, you'll get the AL East and the NL East. So if you're trying to complete these, there's a free 15 points here. Also, conquest maps are usually good for XP, packs, and stubs that you get out of it. So there's always a good in doing the conquest maps. I'm personally avoiding because I cannot stand conquest, but again, that is up to you guys. I really do suggest it. All right, so back to our Team Affinity screen here. Then you have March to October. So March to October, in case you are confused on what the mode is basically a condensed franchise mode. You control a team for a season. You're trying to take them to the World Series, things like that. So if you play with a team within that division, depending on the difficulty you set, you'll actually get a certain amount of allocated stars. If you do very well, you'll get more stars than doing badly. So you look at our little program here. The higher the difficulty you do, the more TA points you get. So if you play on Legend and you manage to make World Series, you average about 84 Team Affinity points. So this is just an average, this is a rough number. This is very dependent on how you do. Just as you lower the difficulty, you'll see that you get less and less Team Affinity points. So if you like March or October or a franchise style mode, and you want to just have fun with the game, this is a solid way of getting stars. But then again, it does take time. This is not efficient, but it is a solid way of getting stars if you happen to like those modes and you want to kill two birds with one stone. Then you have your collections. So if you collect the live series players for that Chipper Jones collection, if you keep on collecting these players, collect entire teams, you'll get points for your Team Affinity. And this is varying of the team and how expensive they are. So the teams with a lot of diamonds have a stupid amount of points you get. Like the Braves are a relatively more expensive collection, so they get 7 points for your Team Affinity. The Marlins, they only have 1 gold, and that's their most expensive player. They only get 3 points. So these vary between 23 to 25 total points, depending on the division. Then finally, you have your exchanges. So first of all, this is where you exchange your Showdown vouchers. Obviously, we want to avoid that for the sake of this. But we also have player exchanges. So one thing you can do is buy players on the market or just use players that you have built up. You could exchange them for Team Affinity progress. And a couple things to this. First of all, I really don't recommend exchanging these diamonds. The diamonds are expensive. It's going to cost you a lot of stubs to get this done, and that's not worth it. If you are going to get into exchanging cards and doing this aspect of the program, I suggest that you go for some high silvers. Guys like your Andrew McCutcheons, your 79 overalls. These guys are relatively cheap. He has a 510 stub buy now. So I think you have to buy, say, 15 to 20 of them in that ballpark. You would be paying about 7,500 stubs for this biggest exchange if you only did Andrew McCutcheons. So honestly, that's not too many stubs. If you have extra stubs and you don't want to spend them on a player, you could do this and help you speed up the process. But then again, it has 3 different levels and you can only do them once. So you get 5 for doing the smallest one, 10 stars for doing the second biggest one, and 15 for doing the biggest exchange. Again, it's gonna cost you stubs. It's quick, but it's gonna cost you. So if you happen to have extra stubs, this is the route to go. And then you'll get a total of 30 stars if you complete all these exchanges. And that is how you get points the different ways throughout the Team Affinity. But that does not mean we're done here. We're just getting started. I came up with a little method. It is a somewhat efficient way to help you guys get your divisions done. So keep in mind, first of all, this is going to be slower than doing Showdowns. Showdowns are always going to be the fastest if you can get them done efficiently. I still do suggest, even if you struggle a little bit with Showdowns, to give it a try, see how you do. At least if you get 1 or 2 of them done even, that'll help you speed up your process because you exchange all 5 of those vouchers. You do get 15 Team Affinity points, which will help make this a lot quicker. But I'm going to show you guys some quick ways if you are starting from scratch, trying to get a division done, a good method to help you get solid progress in a somewhat efficient amount of time. So we're in a blank division here. I have 0 progress. We're going to be doing a lot of math here, adding up the amount of points that we can get. So bear with me here. I'm going to show you and guide you through the process here. So first thing you should do is do the moments. You don't need any players or no prerequisites to do the moments, except just complete the moments and play the game. So you complete all 5 of the moments in the division, you'll get a total of 10 Team Affinity points. That's 10 free points, give you a little kickstart. They're easy to do. They may take a little bit of time if you're brand new, if you're struggling, but they really aren't difficult. If you can't complete the moments, I do not know what to tell you. So that is a free 10 points. We are up to this part in the program, these bronze, silver. We are 10 points on the way there. I suggest we do the conquests. We do the conquest, like I said before, that's 15 more stars. That's also for 2 divisions. So we can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We could try the chip at 2 divisions by completing the conquest map. And then again, conquest is not difficult. If you get the content of the mode, you'll be able to complete it. In case you are confused with conquest, by the way, make sure you check out this video up here. I made a tutorial on just the general tutorial on how people beat conquest and how the mode works. Make sure you check that out if you have not already. But with our conquest map, we will try to beat this conquest map, give us an extra 15 points. But there is a small caveat, not much, but a small one. We want to also tally this mission, the tally innings. We want to try to get this mission done to give us any free points as possible. And as you see, we can tally innings played with players in this division by playing conquest. So one thing we can do, we go back to our team, we could make a team with all players in this division. And then hopefully we want to try to at least complete that tally innings mission once or maybe twice while doing this conquest map to give us an extra 5 or 10 points. And that'll help us get this program done easier whenever we stack our players with this division. So back to our Team Affinity program here. We get the conquest map done. That is 15 more points. So we were at the 10-star point. We add that 15 and we are up to 25. We are at this point. If by chance we also complete the mission, the tally innings with those players, if we do that once or twice, that adds another 5 or 10 points. So we're up to the 30-star point here at least. I would like to hope you get 250 innings out of doing that conquest map with stacking your team with players at division. So we'll say we're at 30 stars now. Now here's the first key. We get this gold choice pack. We get a division choice pack where we get to choose one player that represents each team. And if you remember, these are players that have missions. So what we would do here is select a player in this pack, whichever one we want. First of all, don't make sure you choose the same player twice. Make sure you only choose a player once. It shows the number on the top right of how many of them you have. We choose that player once, and then we'll add them to the team. So in this scenario, say I choose 84 Gary Sheffield. We'll take him and we'll add him onto our team with all those players in the division, throw him in the mix. Now we'll want to try to complete the mission corresponding with him. And with Gary Sheffield, we got to get 4 extra base hits. So what we'll do is we'll go into a play versus CPU game. We'll do this just to make our lives a lot easier. You could tally these missions and stats by doing it in play versus CPU. So we'll go into single player modes, play versus CPU. We'll do the Baltimore Orioles because they do not know how to pitch. We'll be the away team. This is a key. Try to be the away team just because you can get a full 9-inning game in if you win. Also, make sure it is on rookie difficulty. We could choose whatever difficulty we want for this. So the easier the difficulty, the easier it'll be to tally those stats for those missions. So we'll try to do as many games as we need to complete that mission. Hopefully you get it done within one game. But you know, do as many as you need to complete that mission. Now, say you complete that mission and you play a full game with your squad. Say we complete a mission, we complete that Sheffield mission. We get 4 extra base hits, bam. That's another 4 stars to add. And if we played a full game with a squad of all players in that division, again, we could get basically another 81 innings for that. So I would like to hope that gets us this little mission completed a second time. So we'll add another 9 points. We'll be right around here or here by doing that. Right, just short of another NL East pack. So we could just keep on playing games versus CPUs, tallying these innings. This is going to be your best friend in trying to do this. If you play a full 9-inning game versus CPU, with all players in the division, you'll get 81 innings per game. So about 3 games or so, give or take, you'll get this little mission done. This is take a little bit of time. This is why Showdown is the most efficient way to do. If you're looking at completing this way, this is going to take a little bit of time because you got to do 9-inning games versus CPU. Or you could just play online with the squad if you happen to like ranked seasons, events, and you're able to fill up your team with that. Again, you could do 2 at once here, make more progress. But if you want the easiest way to do it without affecting your online play, you could just play versus CPU on rookie and just do whatever. And honestly, especially if you're just trying to get these innings, you could speed through the game. So if you're hitting, just get like a couple runs versus CPU, bunt out that game. Just bunt the ball, give the game outs, or you could even try to use this opportunity to work on those parallels. So if you have a player in that division you like, you can get parallel progress by using them offline. So say, look at Willie Adames here. Look at our parallel XP. We can get parallel progress by doing play versus CPU. So you could tally attributes for your favorite players in the division, including the 42 series guys you get, and try to get those parallels up. So even though this does seem like only a Team Affinity based thing, you will level up your parallels. So you know if you like certain cards, you could boost up their overall bit by bit while also doing this. So play versus CPU is a solid mode to kind of grind and chip at this. And that's kind of the general gist. We would go back to our Team Affinity and we would keep on doing this over and over again. We get to a gold flashback and legend pack, choose a different player, complete the mission versus CPU while also using the team of all players in that division. Keep on going over and over. Then we get to a 42 series player, choose a player we want, and you could either stop there or just keep going. Do the same thing. Tally the mission with the 42 series player. Keep on doing innings after innings. It is a little bit more tedious. It's a little bit of a grind, but this is a good way of tallying this, and you could chip at this over time. You don't have to rush to do this. Maybe if you are struggling with showdowns and you just want to get a player ASAP, you could get your first player, throw them on a team, and maybe at this point you feel a little more comfortable with the game, take some more risks, go into showdown, and maybe beat a showdown or two. The point of this little method is to kind of give you a pattern to follow. Get a player that you can use a mission for, complete that mission along with tallying innings with players in that division, rinse and repeat. If this is very tedious, if you want to try to speed this up even more, you could do the collections like I said, you could do these over time, chip at them bit by bit by bit, and try to get them all done. And again, this will give you more bonus progress. Also, you could do your exchanges if you have a bunch of extra stubs and you want to just jump up forward in the program. This is a solid thing to do as well. But again, it is going to cost you, and be prepared to spend a fair amount of subs to get this done. You can also only do them once. So this will only get you those 30 stars, and that is it. That is all you can do. Or even if you are someone who likes March for October or likes a franchise style mode, and Diamond Dynasty is somewhat secondary to you, you could do March for October and chip at that. At this point, I give you a general pattern. Get a player, complete the mission, use players all on those teams, versus the CPU on rookie difficulty, and tally innings, complete the missions, and I'll give you solid progress. If you do other things like that, it'll speed up the process. You can mix it up to, do whatever you like. If you don't want to only play versus CPU, you can mix it up and change it. You could also just use a team with all these players and get the same kind of thing done online. It is going to be more difficult though. This is a little easier to do versus CPU just because you're on rookie difficulty. You could use whatever players you want, and there's no real risk involved, And that is the general gist of it. Hopefully, this is a solid method to help you guys get Team Affinity done if you're not doing well with showdowns. Just in general, it is difficult to do without it. Showdown, I still do recommend doing if you are solid at it, but obviously not everyone is, and I absolutely understand what it's like. Hopefully, this will help you guys get those Team Affinities done. Hopefully, you'll get those 42 series players sooner rather than later. I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any questions, make sure you comment down below. If you learned something that helps you get this done quicker as well, make sure to comment that as well. Help everyone else who is trying to do this. But I won't keep you guys any longer. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.